Assalamu alaikum, bonjour, greetings everyone, welcome back once again to another episode of this quarantine lifestyle vlogging. As quarantine has been extended until June 10th, we are here yet another with almost a month right here in our own homes and just going to make the best of it. And what I want to do today is I've got 5 images that I've taken. As you recall, I put out a video and I've talked about how I wanted to showcase my landscape photography here on YouTube. So what I'm going to do is I've picked 5. 1 for the sake of longevity of the video. 2, I pulled a bunch of them in and I realized that while the people who are here, who follow me on Instagram, may have already seen these, I feel like that platform, it's less critical. As YouTube, you put something out there, you're throwing yourselves to the wolves potentially. So for those who do follow me on Instagram, rather, thank you very much. There may be some here that you haven't seen actually, but stick around and get a little bit of a backstory, a little bit of more of a closer glimpse into Texas as I show them here. To the other part of this audience that does not know who I am on Instagram, the link is on my main page, and I will put it also in the link in the description below, and you can go and look at these plus a whole lot of other ones. And I'm wanting to do a series on these about the different places I've traveled. This is going to be from Texas, and then I've got one from the UK, I've got some that I'm going to put together maybe for Argentina, and then of course I've got a whole bunch of pictures from right here in good old Morocco that I want to share with you guys. So let me know what you guys think about doing a series like that to kind of help us finish out this quarantine. So let's get right to it. So this image right here, these are out in East Texas. The first 3 are in East Texas. I mean, almost to the Louisiana border. This was actually taken back in last November. It was late November, and I was just chomping at the bit. I was really trying to get out there because I knew that the fall colors were fading fast. In Texas, we don't have the autumn season that lasts very long. We get the colors for probably about 2 weeks. And you start to see them and everything's great, but it's still very warm. It doesn't have an autumn feel. And then all of a sudden, the temperature drops a little bit and it's starting to feel nice. The colors come out for about 2 weeks, and then the temperature will drop. Weather moves in and the wind picks up and it's windy for 2-3 days, and when it's all over, the trees are bare. There's nothing left. So if you didn't get it in that 2-week window, better luck next year. So I caught the tail end of the season here, and this is what it looks like. This is East Texas. So I caught the last of the fall colors here. I mean, it's pretty much here. This looks like winter in this image in Texas, in East Texas. It doesn't get that cold. But there's a little bit of brown. Those leaves haven't fallen off to be completely colorless here. This is actually a color image. As you can see, the brown and the brownish red. But these are cypress trees in America. I don't think this is what the Moroccan cypress trees look like. They are more coniferous. They're more like a conifer type of a tree, or a pine tree, more like that. Or more of a conifer rather, yeah. But these grow specifically in wet environments like this. They grow out of the water, very marshy, muddy conditions. And usually where these grow, it's not going to be a good move to go walking around, because you're probably going to get stuck in the mud. You're going to get bitten by a snake. You're going to get eaten by an alligator. Something bad could happen to you. If you're in a boat, you should be fine, but that's not something you want to get out and wade around in. But getting back to the images, this is what I saw the first morning I got up. I was actually standing on a fishing dock overlooking that, and there was a nice layer of that fog right there. There's really not much else to that. I just kind of wanted to bring this up. I like the image, I like the feel of it, and I just kind of wanted to give my Moroccan and UK viewers a little bit of an idea of what the cypress trees look like here. If you don't know what they look like, this is about as East Texas as you're going to get right here. When you start getting into the swamps and the cypress trees, you know you are in East Texas. This image, this is all done in the same area, but I kind of put a little bit of an artsy spin to it, and when I saw it, this is exactly the way I saw it. I saw the leading lines of the stumps going back into where all the action's happening, where that motion blur that I put on it after the fact. but I like the feel. It's very dark and moody, has a little bit of an eerie, spooky feel to it, kind of like a witches in the woods kind of an area thing. It's that's the feel that I get from this, and I kind of got that the whole time I was there. It's kind of an eerie feeling, and so if you like things like that, it's a really good place to go. It was very quiet. It was an off season. There were very few people there at all. It was and actually very windy, and it was pretty unseasonably cool that day. But let me know what you guys think about the little artsy spin that I put on it. Do you like it when you see things like that adds a little bit of character to it? I particularly like that one, and one of these days I'm going to actually put that one on my wall. Now this one was absolute luck, and this is one of my favorites that I've ever taken, I have to say. I was walking along the edge, just barely I was in the mud, and I was pulling my feet out of the mud, but I was walking through, but I knew if I didn't get up close, I was not going to find an image that I liked. I kept going, I kept persevering, and all of a sudden I see it. I see it right across the way. It wasn't quite in this composition yet, but I knew there had to have been some way to at least get over there and try it. So I finally made it over there, and sure enough, then set up the tripod, ran that 70 to 200, pretty much all the way into 200 millimeter, and I set that up and I got this shot, and I just love the way that last splash of the autumn colors in the entire country, or the entire state rather, it was there. It's like, this is the last piece of fall you're going to see in the entire state of Texas, and it's right here. That's exactly the feel that I had when I saw that, and I just loved it. It was just so vibrant and just so persistent in staying around, and I just loved how it was just still there, and I just love the image. I really don't just tell me what you think about it. I love it. I have my own emotions about this. I'm emotionally attached to this image, but don't spare my feelings. If you hate it, tell me, critique it. That's what we're here for today. And all this is really just to kind of give you guys a glimpse of Texas on a very superficial level. So there's East Texas. There's a little bit of East Texas. Let's go over to West Texas. Now this is probably a good, I don't know, 8 hours away from where we were just looking. Easily an 8-hour drive. This is out into West Texas. This is a sunrise. I was actually leaving a 2-day shoot that I was doing. I was trying to get some shots in a little ghost town called Toyah, Texas. T-O-Y-A-H, Toyah, Texas. It's out in the middle of nothing. But I was taking a different route home, and I decided to head south, and I was going down the road, and I looked over, and in spite of all the big truck traffic and everything going on, I mindlessly, irresponsibly slammed on my brakes when I saw this, because there was no way I was going to drive on and not get this shot. It just was like, bam, look at this. I mean, as you can see, it's just very vibrant. I did nothing to this image. This is exactly how I saw it. I did nothing to this image in post-production at all. So I get over to the side of the road, I set up, I get this shot, and then I just started contemplating. You know, one of the things that grabs me the most about looking at old stuff like this is what happened? Why? How did it end up this? Is it because everything just fell apart and went bust? Or are they sitting and enjoying the spoils of their labor in something in a much nicer environment? They moved up, they've upgraded, they've got new stuff. Or was this it? You know, what was going on in the time that this was vibrant? There was a vibrant time for this old barn where there was a roof and there was livestock and there were people running around, there were children playing. And I kind of wonder what was going on in the world. How old is this? There's so many questions, you know. I'm kind of in a rambling mood today, so if you just pardon me, and I'm really not comfortable doing this, but I'm trying to get outside my comfort zone, so I hope you can appreciate that at least. This video is not going to be that great, and I just want to show you what I do and what I love and why I love it. And if it comes across a little awkward, it's because I'm feeling pretty awkward right now. So let me know what you think. I call this Southern Lights. You know, we don't have the Aurora Borealis, you know, up like they do from Minnesota, Canada, up into Alaska. We just don't have that there. Down south, you just don't get it. So, but we have these amazing sunrises and sunsets, and this is probably the closest to Aurora Borealis as we can get. So I call this one Southern Lights instead of the Northern Lights. I know that's kind of dorky, but that's what I call it. Now, this next image. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, this next image, now I'm not a religious person. I don't follow any religions whatsoever. If that's what you do, that's what you do. We can still hang out, all the things. We can talk about religions and what we believe and don't believe. It's when we start talking about who's right or wrong. There's where I have a problem. But let's move forward. This image here says a lot to me because it's a dichotomous perspective. Means there's two different things that are side by side that speak to me on this. Why was the cross left there? This was in an old mission in that same town that I just left. This was probably the day or two before I took the shot we just looked at. This one, this shot is, to me, it's very powerful. This shot, it says, it asks two questions. It asks one question, but there's two reasons of why. Was it left because there was a loss in faith? This is right outside, this is right inside the back door of the church. I was on my way out, I was just looking at this old church, and I was on my way out and I saw this, and this is exactly how I saw it. And I just couldn't help but just take a knee, grab the shot, and it was just two questions came to mind. Two questions right off the bat came to mind. Was it left behind for a loss of faith? Did they leave it behind because they're like, you know what? We have believed, we have prayed, we have followed the word of God, we've done all these things, and our town still came up dry. It's died off. We have nothing to show for anything. We have no blessings upon us here. We're done with this. We're leaving. And they moved on and they just left it, didn't bother closing the door. Or they were blessed beyond belief because of their faith. They were rewarded and everything, all their prayers were answered, everything that they needed. They moved on to better lives. They've moved to bigger cities. They moved to where things are a bit more prosperous, just a better life altogether. And they wanted to leave that cross because it meant something to them, and maybe it can mean something to someone else who's maybe coming through feeling lost, feeling despair, and just they don't know. And so there's the cross, the door's open, go into the light, go out into the world, be the light of the world. Here it is. What do you guys think? What does this say? And you can take any religious symbol that you follow, whatever religious symbol that you hold reverence for, and you can put it in that same place as the cross, and it's interchangeable. Why was it left there? What would be your opinion as to why this cross is still here? To me, it's just a very important thing. Why would they just stand that up and leave that there? It seems like if they would take it with them. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, and it's maybe, I don't know. But let me know what you think. Okay, so there is my really horrible video on my images from Texas. This is not something that I'm comfortable doing. I'm not a script kind of a person. Everything you do, obviously you know everything that I do is very raw. It's very off the cuff. It's off the cuff means very spontaneous. It's random. It can go in any direction, and I'm just going to go with it how I feel. It's off the cuff, and that's exactly what this is. So at least I'm consistent. That should be my thumbnail, but it's not going to be. But anyways, I'm gonna shut up because we're getting on 15 minutes probably at least right now, and I don't really want to go any further than that. So let me know what you think about these images. Tell me what you feel about any of these. How do they speak to you? Your opinion on them, and let me know if you're ready for me to try stab at this with another country and eventually get back around to the Moroccan prints, or the Moroccan images rather. And yeah, there it is, raw and almost completely uncut. There's a lot of this you're not going to see because I'm really just bleh. All right, let's keep walking each other that quarantine. I'll see you on the next one.